How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today I think we're going to try something a little bit different and really kind of sit down and learn how the abilities work and how to kind of really PVM in RuneScape. Jagex seemed to be kind of making just PVM content recently, like we've recently had Raksha, we're getting the Rex Matriarch soon, and Elder God Wars is coming as well, so I think I kind of need to sit down and learn how to get at least a basic rotation and stuff down, but we'll see how this goes. So I'm not really sure how many people are in the same situation as me, but just for a little bit of backstory, I've been playing RuneScape for like almost 20 years, so pretty much since the beginning. And in that time I kind of got used to how RuneScape used to play and kind of the combat system of it at the time. And over the first sort of 12 years of playing, obviously maxed account and stuff, and pretty much all I did was PVM with friends and in the clan and stuff. And then I'm pretty sure it's not uncommon knowledge at this point is when EOC kind of happened and stuff, about 90% of the player base just disappeared, and that kind of included all my friends and all the clan and stuff. So kind of from then on, I came in and out of the game a lot. I, quit and came back and quit and came back, and then I kind of just ended up becoming kind of a skiller and stuff and just finding other stuff to do rather than PVM because I never really understood how the combat worked. Personally, I don't really think that RuneScape does a very good job of teaching people how to use abilities sort of efficiently, but that's just my personal opinion, I guess. But I'm sure once I sit down and sort of really look into it and find nice key bindings that are comfortable and stuff, I'm sure it'll become second nature. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, we're going to start with some Vindicta. I don't mind all of the God Wars 2 bosses, they're all fairly easy, besides Hellweir maybe. I struggle with Hellweir more than any of the others. And I definitely find that Vindicta is the easiest in my opinion. I've heard other people say differently, but I just find it really quite easy compared to the others. My problem with it being so easy though is that I can only do about 10 kills before I'm absolutely bored out my mind and kind of have to stop just because, I don't know, it makes me feel tired when I fight it. So I see a lot of people getting really quick times at Vindicta, and I don't know what maybe what I'm doing wrong, I suppose. I feel fairly confident in my rotation here. Like, I understand to obviously start off with Berserk and then kind of cancelling out Fury and using Destroy and then Assault and stuff, but yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing wrong, or whether my time's even good actually, thinking about it. In fact, I think I actually got a PB on one of the clips somewhere. I think it's like 1:17 or something, like 1 minute 17 for the kill, so I don't know if that's good or not really, but yeah. So again, kind of one of my issues with RuneScape combat is that it really doesn't do a very good job of explaining kind of in-game a decent rotation. The only reason I do a rotation out of Vindicta is because somebody has told me that, like, in person. It's not something that the game's really taught me kind of along the way, which I guess is kind of my issue for being already maxed when EOC happened. So I had all these abilities and no real sort of way to understand how to use them. Like, I know they've recently done a tooltip update to make them kind of easier to understand for people, but I don't know, it's one thing to sort of read a tooltip, and it's a completely different thing to understand how to use them together. Personally, I don't know. I don't know what other people think. So with that being said, if anyone's got any sort of easy to follow guide or anything for rotations that doesn't kind of go into the whole, oh yeah, you gotta have a million switches and all this other stuff, then please send it my way, because I would like to just know how to do a basic rotation. So another question I've got for anyone that wants to let me know, should I focus on sort of just one combat style, like gear that out and perk that out and learn how to do a rotation on one thing, or like one style, or should I sort of get a basic understanding and sort of maybe mediocre gear on all styles? I'm not really sure which way to kind of go, whether or not I should just focus on one or at least get a sort of a basic understanding of all three. Alright, I'm putting a trigger warning here right now. These next clips are so painful to watch, it's unbelievable. Alright, so at Nex, I have done a lot of Nex in the past, like pre-EOC. I know the fight, I know the mechanics and stuff, but since EOC, oh man, I don't know, I really struggle with it, especially the blood phase. I was 100% being carried in this whole Geo thing. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty bad at using the abilities correctly and stuff but just kind of where I need to in this fight. When I've tried soloing it, I can get to blood phase like pretty much with no issues at all. And sort of even after being told what to do on blood phase solo and watching guides and stuff for solo, I know what abilities to use and in what order, but because of Revo, I really mess it up and I always forget to take the bleeds and stuff off my hotbar. I kind of feel that if I was able to do full manual at Nex, I would probably benefit a bit more than trying to use Revo here, just because, like I said, I know what abilities to use in what order for blood phase, but Revo just keeps firing stuff off that I don't really want to go off, so yeah, I'm not really sure about that. So another thing I noticed with the Revo bar and stuff, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just maybe like a latency issue or something on my side, I really don't know, but like if I try to do full manual or like manually input an ability to use, sometimes it just doesn't register that I've wanted to use that ability, so it doesn't fire it off and I'm just kind of stood there doing nothing. So I'm pretty sure at some point in some of these clips I'm just kind of there stood saying like, what the fuck's going on? I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just like a latency to the client, or I don't know. So at some point during these kills, I thought I should probably take those bleeds off 1 and 2, and I don't know why, but just before blood phase, I thought it'd be a good idea just to, you know, take them off the hotbar rather than kind of setting up an optimal hotbar. So yeah, you can kind of see what you're dealing with. I'm just an idiot, really, like that doesn't know what he's doing. So if anyone wants to, you know, let me know a decent Revo Nex solo hotbar that means I don't just fuck up all the time, then yeah, please, please send it my way, because it's painful to watch back. So another thing I want to ask is EOF actually worth getting? I mean, obviously it's the best in slot, so I'm assuming so, but I've seen a few people tell me using like a dark bow spec in blood phase with the EOF would probably help kind of get past that as well, so let me know what you guys think. Alright, so next up we're going to do some ED3, and this was actually the second time I'd actually done all 3 bosses in one go. I've done the Leviathan kind of solo quite a few times, but not too many, but it's the second time through of doing the full dungeon. So the Leviathan's pretty easy. I mean, it's just a target dummy, really. I mean, this clip doesn't show the best because apparently I don't know where to stand, but yeah, normally I don't have any issue with it. It's just a quick, easy target dummy boss, really. So yeah, nothing to really talk about this one. I mean, again, it's just kind of working on a rotation and making sure I know where I'm like placing my death swiftness and stuff, just to kind of get it a bit more optimal. So moving on to Taroket, this was like I said, the second or maybe third time I'd actually killed this boss. So I'm still getting used to the mechanics and stuff. I don't know how people do this fight solo. It's I can imagine pretty overwhelming solo. Now that I vaguely know the mechanics of it, I don't feel like I struggle with it as a duo, but that's probably just because I'm being like completely carried. I think it's just going to be practicing the fights over and over that'll help me get better with it. Like, I do try to sort of use what I feel's optimal in a sense. Like, for instance, when the death gate things open up, I'll use a Needle Strike and then a Bombardment because it pretty much kills the skeletons that spawn straight away. But I mean, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it or what, but it feels like I'm doing something right there when I do it. So when the big 2 bloat things appear, I don't know what they're actually called, but I've never had to actually really deal with them as like tanking them, so I only know to DPS them down pretty much as quickly as possible. I don't know how I would do that solo, because from what it looks like in the clip, you kind of have to pray melee and stuff, and then obviously everything else is attacking you, so I'm kind of not familiar with that whole mechanic and stuff, but I'm sure that's just going to be practice and learning how that fight kind of really works as a solo. Alright, so then we end up on the Ambassador, and man, it was pretty rough from the start, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, this is like the second time, maybe the second time I've done this boss, so yeah, I was trying to remember the mechanics and just, I don't know, he absolutely hated me. I 100% know that I would really benefit from getting used to using keybinds for food and prayer switches. I have them bound, but I cannot get used to using them. I'm so used to the old just click style of combat in this game that I cannot get my head around it at the moment. So where my inexperience definitely shines through, I think, at this point is when the spinners come up, I am completely stood in the wrong place to kind of do this efficiently, and then you can see just from the lack of DPS as I kind of go round, just how like if I was to do this solo, it just wouldn't happen. Like, there's just not a chance. So after that fragment got absorbed, you can see that I really start to panic because I didn't have any adrenaline to get the res off. I ended up walking into the smoke and signing, and from there on it just, I don't know, I was really panicking. I'm pretty sure I was shaking when I was playing at this point because I was just clicking food and not switching prayers and everything was just going wrong. So pretty much from that point on, I kind of tunnel visioned on just watching mechanics and was really not paying attention to doing any kind of DPS. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to die. So yeah, I don't know. It got really super messy after that fragment for me. So I'm not actually sure what I would do if you call my name twice. The devotion would still be on cooldown, so I guess you'd probably want to revo it or something. I don't actually know what you would do with that. Again, I think it's all just going to be going to practice the bosses and doing them more until I kind of get comfortable with the fights, and then kind of, I guess the DPS comes with being comfortable in the fight, so. Alright, well I think that's going to do it for the episode. I'm not super sure how this is going to turn out. Any kind of actual feedback and, you know, constructive criticism I'll take into account and listen to and try and learn. Any kind of just, you know, you suck, that's, I mean, I'm just not gonna pay attention to that really. So yeah, so as usual, thank you very much for watching. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll catch you in the next one.